We're glad to have you back on the Classic Metal Show. I think the last time we talked to you was when we had Lon Friend here.
Well, that's probably true. Yes.
Yeah, that was like a year. No, actually, it was like 2 years ago next month, I think.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah,
but I'm glad to be back.
Well, Jamie, we had been talking about you since Rocklahoma. And you've been out there doing your black and blue thing since you left Warrant, and making a little bit of noise out there, and been reading little snippets in the news that you're continuing with the recording of the new black and blue CD, and you got some shows lined up, and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll talk all about that.
Okay. Yeah. You're the guy to talk to, so I'm ready to go. So. Whatever you want to know.
Well, I guess the first question is you were fronting Warrant there for a few years, and you guys actually released a CD with you, and then all of a sudden, they decided that they needed JANI Lane back, and you bowed out gracefully, I'm assuming, and you kind of always knew in the back of your mind that day was going to come.
Well, I certainly did. I knew that JANI was going to be back in the band at some point. I mean, it should be. That's the way it should be with Warrant, But I just was doing I did a good job, I think, for actually 4 summers. So I call it 4 years, but it was 4 summers that I toured with Warrant, and never missed a beat. And the band made a lot of money, and we did a good thing, So, hey, it was fun for me. But I really do love playing, being the guy in black and blue again, because that's who I am. So
sure. Well, Jamie, before we go to black and blue, do you look at those 4 years, with the way everything worked out with Warrant and JANI not lasting, 30 shows? Do you look at that and say, "Damn, man, they really blew a good thing"?
Partially, I do. It's like I'm going, wow. When I left the band, when they asked me to leave the band, basically, because the JANI was coming back, I thought, okay, well, I understand. I get it. But he certainly blew it, in my eyes. It's like, wow, he just couldn't keep it together at all. So it was like kind of a frustrating thing to me to see. But, hey, you know what? He's a good guy. He's just got problems, so.
Well, what were your thoughts when you, I'm sure you kind of kept an eye on that a little bit and were kind of interested in what was going on there. What were your thoughts when you basically found out that he just couldn't even cut 10 shows before they decided, hey man, we've got to cut our losses here and get somebody else?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of thought that was going to happen. But see, those guys kept calling me when I was doing Rocklahoma, and when I was doing the Houston show. They were saying, "Hey, we might need you to fill in because he's not doing good," and it was a bad thing. I felt bad for him, but he's the guy that should be singing for that band, and whatever. I'm doing my thing. I'm glad to be black and blue. That's all I can say.
Well, that's cool, Jamie. But the thing that Chris and I often talk about now, Chris and I both know JANI personally because he is from Akron, Ohio, and we've hung out with him on numerous occasions and things. And I know, just getting Joey Allen to come back to the band and Stephen Sweet to come back to the band when you were in there, and then burying the hatchet with everybody so JANI could be a part of that and go out as the original Warrant, and then like you said, just pissing that away. Wouldn't you think that the opportunity to kind of recapture some of that fame and glory, I guess, if you will, would be more powerful than substance abuse?
Well, you know what? I mean, when those guys told me I was out of the band and they were getting back together with JANI, I thought, wow, great, good for you guys. I thought it was a great thing, but it just seemed that he's not got his shit together,
Yeah, sure.
That's the problem with it, but that's the way it should be, and I thought it was going to be a great thing, and I understood, and look, I was in the band for 4 years, or so, at least 4 summers, and that's it.
Right.
So I had a great time. I think that I kept the band alive, and that's it.
Sure.
I feel bad that it didn't work out with him.
Right.
I really do.
Well, now you're back with Black and Blue. You guys you attempted to do somewhat of a little reunion thing when you guys went out with L.A. Guns and the Bullet Boys a few years ago, and were able to do a handful of shows there. But of course, there were problems on that tour that prevented you from really doing any kind of an extensive tour.
Yeah, the problem was being MARQ TORIEN. He's an asshole. I can say that plainly.
Okay, why?
I got silence.
Well,
we don't. We're waiting for you
Don't
to
worry
tell us
about
why
it.
he's
I
an
don't
asshole.
care. He's a fucking asshole. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I remember
I think that guy's the biggest fucking piece of shit that ever grew on the earth.
Wow. Well, I remember the whole story. There was all this talk of pulling a knife on the bus driver, or vice versa, or something.
I was the one who called 911 because Mikey, the guy that was our tour manager, he goes, I got stabbed. It was the bus driver that stabbed him. And MARQ TORIEN was just as big a problem as anything ever was, and that guy's a jerk. So you heard it from me.
Nice. Well, dude, I don't know where to go from that.
You guys are laughing. You he's a jerk too? He's an asshole, right?
Oh well, we've had our run-ins with MARQ too. I mean, not I haven't had a personal run-in with him, but we had him on our show.
And he sucks.
We had him on the show telling us lie after lie after lie for about a half hour at one point.
Good. Well, that's what he is. He's a liar and a jerk. All right, let's go. What else do you want to know?
Well, dude, obviously you used the Warrant run to, I guess the best way to put it is it really seems like it fueled you to put Black and Blue as your priority again. What exactly changed? Because, I mean, obviously you did St. James for a little bit before Warrant, and it just didn't seem like you were feeling Black and Blue for a while, like you were trying to do something different. What pushed you back to Black and Blue as your primary vehicle?
Well, Chris, you're exactly right. When I got done with, when I found out that I was not going to be in Warrant anymore, that's fine. And I decided, hey, Black and Blue, let's give it another shot, and it actually is one of the best things I've ever done. To, go back to my home, That's where I'm from. That's what I love to do. And I love singing the Black and Blue songs. When I go out there and sing, these tunes that Black and Blue did, it's great. So, I'm having a good time, and I'm trying to do the best I can with Black and Blue, and that's all that matters to me right now.
Well,
sure.
Go ahead, Chris. No, you go ahead.
Well, obviously, Jamie, the thing, and Neely and I have talked about this on the show, I'm tempted to say 24 times because it comes up constantly, and that is the alleged album that is recorded, not recorded, it's on the verge of being released, we're taking pre-orders, now it's not here. What the hell is going on with the record? Well, see,
it's a nightmare a little bit. But I'm actually going to try to finish that. I'm going to play some shows. Black and Blue is playing in Seattle and Portland in December, and I'm going to go up there before we play the shows, and I'm going to try to finish some vocals and get that thing done. It'll come out, I think, in 2009. Hell Yeah, it's called, and it's a great record. Tommy Thayer called it Hell Yeah. That's his title. That's how old it is. It's been around for a while, but yeah, we're going to do it.
Well, speaking of Tommy Thayer, everybody's well aware that he's involved with the KISS camp and involved with them for years as tour manager and support staff, and now, of course, he's playing the ace part in the band. Is he prohibited from taking part in Black and Blue? Because I know Gene Simmons, once he's got his people in line, he pretty much doesn't allow them to do anything, Is there any truth to that, or what's the deal?
Look at your screen right now. If you're tired of the hide-and-seek games with big tech, where links disappear and episodes get throttled, I've got the fix. I'm Chris Aiken, And it's time for me to show you how to take back your access to the Classic Metal Show, the Seth Williams Show, and Chris Aiken Presents. Pick up your phone, go to the App Store or Google Play, and download the Locals app. It is 100% free. Once you're in, just search for the CMS Network. You're going to see everything. Every interview, every unfiltered rant, every deep dive music discussion, every uncensored news article we put up, all in one centralized, uncensored hub. No more chasing links across 5 different socials. This is our home. But if you really want the keys to the kingdom, look for that VIP upgrade. For just $4.99 a month, you're cutting out the commercials, getting the advanced drops before anyone else, and accessing bonus episodes that are way too heavy, dirty, or we just don't want to share with the free public. For the price of a cheap beer, you're supporting independent, unapologetic media. Download the Locals app today. Get some CMS wherever you are. And if you're a real one, join the VIP squad at classicmetalshow.locals.com. The Classic Metal Show and the CMS Network. It's uncensored. It's unapologetic. We will see you there.
Well, I actually asked Tommy that. I said, Tommy, if you were part of this thing, will Gene just go freak out? Yeah, it's not like in his contract or anything, but Tommy can't really be part of what we're doing. But he is in a way. But no, it's all without Tommy. So.
Well, everybody else is in the band, right?
Yeah, all the original members, everybody except Tommy.
And who do you have on guitar?
A guy named Sean Sunshine. He's a great guitarist. He's really awesome, and he does a really good job and very respectful to all the old Black and Blue stuff. He plays it exactly the way it should be played, so it's cool.
Excellent. Well, I talked to you very briefly last Sunday because I didn't want to talk to you too much because I wanted to make sure this interview was, pretty spontaneous and fresh.
Okay.
And I mentioned to you, we tried to call you when you guys were playing at Rocklahoma. How was Rocklahoma for you? Did you have a good response there?
Rocklahoma was great. Yeah, actually there was a lot. I mean, everybody was going nuts for Black and Blue there, and it was cool. It was a little scary, when all that tornado kind of a thing hit. We were there signing autographs and stuff, and it's the whole tent blew down. But it was cool.
Well, you were telling me that you were in a tent and everybody was scrambling around there. Where exactly were you, and what was going on?
Well, I seriously, I thought I was going to die. Pretty much.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it was really hardcore. You think it's not a big deal, it's a lot of wind, but when a huge tent, this is a thing that, there's thousands of people can be in there, buying merchandise. And when that starts blowing down, it comes down on you. Well, it's whoa, we were scared. I grabbed a hold of my girlfriend and my guitarist's wife and just ran and said, we gotta go. It was scary.
Nice. Well, dude. I want to move back to the record for a minute. Is the record going to be released on the infamous Z Records, or is that guy kind of like he is with most things, kind of full of shit?
Well, okay, he is full of shit a lot of times, but I owe him that. I owe him this record, so it will be on that Z Records in Europe. But we don't have anything in America, so it'll get out, and I think that it's going to happen in 2009, and it's been a long wait. I know. We'll make it happen.
Well, very cool. Are you planning on doing it? Are you planning on doing it? With a more digital approach, with the more modern approach, do it with iTunes and that type of thing? Or are you looking at a traditional release with an actual disc, or what? Or have you not even gotten that far yet?
Well, we have to transfer everything to a digital mode. It was done on it was done analog at the time. Now we have to transfer it to digital. So, that's part of the problem.
Well, you just hold your tape recorder up to the speaker and,
Is that all I have to do, Jimmy? All right. Shit. I thought it was a lot harder than that.
You can send it down to Dirt Talk Studios in Oklahoma City, and they'll mix it for you in the digital domain. It's not a problem. But so the next shows that you have coming up are the ones that you mentioned or late in the winter then?
Yeah, we're playing up in the Northwest. We're playing in December. We're doing Seattle and Portland, and those are the only shows we're doing, right now. And then we're working on getting on festivals over in Europe.
Right. Well, since you put the band back together and you did play, Rocklahoma, which is a big worldwide stage, since it's making headline news all over the world, and it's obvious that you played the thing. Have you been getting interest, from other people, like you just mentioned that you want to play some festivals in Europe and whatnot? Have inquiries been coming in about you guys playing, extended dates, or how's that working for you?
Well, we're working with doing the festival stuff over in Europe, and I would love to play in America as much as I could, but it's hard for a band like Black and Blue. It's tough. We could play all we want if we want to play for low dough, but that's not what we want to do. So, we'll see. If we can do some, killer shows here and there, here in America, but it's hard. It's tough.
Well, speaking of these festivals, the ones here in the U.S. have been cropping up here that nobody even heard of before because they're brand new. Obviously, Rocklahoma leading the pack there. Then they had that South Texas Rock Jam. Did you hear about? And then they had that Rock in the Bayou.
Right.
So, what's your thoughts? Do you think there's a reinterest in hard melodic rock like this now? That now all of a sudden there's these festivals cropping up and
there definitely is. When you can get a band like Pretty Boy Floyd playing these things, those guys. Who are they? But they can play these shows. So a band like Black and Blue will do those, and I hope to do those this summer. And it's a good avenue for us to be able to play for a lot of people, and so that's what we'd like to look for, I don't think we're going to be playing the local club scene or anything like that. That's not what Black and Blue is going to do these days. But if we can get on one of those gigs, we'll do it.
Sure. Well, Jamie, it's interesting when you look at the way the scenes go through the generations. It seems like the 60s bands and like the 70s bands have been able to continue to tour, fairly lucratively, for, even still. But for whatever reason, the bands, like Black and Blue is a prime example. A lot of the bands from the 80s, there's just almost none of that ilk of bands that still can really do it on a large scale, other than Poison, which God knows why that works. But why do you think it is that the 80s bands have not been able to carry on in a 5,000 to 10,000 seat thing when even bands like Journey still can do 8,000 people? It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, partially. Look, a band like Journey had huge airplay, huge, and they can do whatever they want. A band like Black and Blue, I can only speak for myself, and we can play a handful of shows, as 80s kind of revival kind of shows, and that's what we can do. We can't do the things that some of these bands can do. I don't know that, there's only a handful of 80s bands that can actually, Motley Crue can do whatever they want. A band like Black and Blue, our hands are tied, and we have to do certain shows, and that's the only way it's going to work, So.
Excellent, Jamie. Well, I'm glad you're out there, putting it together, because when I met you about 10 years ago for the first time, you were really not doing anything music related, and then you put your little gig together in Cleveland and wrote some new songs and worked with Billy Morris and a handful of other local musicians, and you seem to be having a good time doing that. It kind of re-energized you and kind of gave you that kind of spark to actually get back into music and start doing something again.
Step back into time and flip into fun at Pinball PA, the ultimate arcade and museum where classic games come alive. Located off Broadhead Road in the Hopewell Shopping Center, Pinball PA invites you to play with 400 pinball machines and video games, from rare gems to your all-time favorites like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Asteroids, Frogger, and the latest pinball hits. Perfect for families, friends, field trips, birthdays, and gamers of all ages, Pinball PA is open Tuesdays through Sundays with unlimited play for one low price. No quarters needed. Learn more at pinballpa.com.
Well, you're right, Neely. You know exactly what I've been through, and yeah, you're right. It's a tough haul, but I'm having a good time. I enjoy playing great shows. Black and Blue kicks ass, and that's the only thing that matters.
Well, sure. Well, you got any kind of a website out there, anything people can find out about you? I know you had a personal website out there, but do you have like a Black and Blue website or a MySpace or something like that?
Yeah, there's a MySpace. Black and Blue MySpace we have, yes. I guess it's Black and Blue at MySpace or something.
MySpace.com/Black and Blue.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a web guy.
I don't even know what it is.
It's just out there, goddammit.
Look, I'm just a fucking rock singer, all right?
I just sing. That's all I do. Leave me alone. Just buy my
shit. I
shit.
Sing.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to tell the fans there, Jamie?
I love everybody, and everybody that loves Black and Blue. Goddamn, we're going to have, hell yeah, it's going to happen in 2009.
Excellent.
It's going to happen. And it's new Black and Blue, and come see us if you can. We're trying to play. So,
well, maybe you can get hooked up on like you said, like a package tour. Now, if like a Poison came along and wanted you on their bill, would that be something you guys could do? I know
certainly, and we're one of the bands that look. I was signed years before Poison was ever signed. I mean, we were. There's only 3 bands that were signed when I came along. It was Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, and then Black and Blue. Rat wasn't signed. Nobody was signed. We were the 3rd band to sign out of this whole LA thing. And if I could go, in a package thing with somebody like Poison or whatever, I mean, fine with me. I know all those guys. They were all little kids asking me what to do. Well, who should we sign with? What label's good?
Sure.
I mean, Guns N' Roses, those guys were always hammering me about Geffen. And I said, I think they're all right, I was on Geffen.
Right.
It's weird.
Well, maybe you can get the old all-night tour back together with you and Kiss, huh?
No, probably not going to happen. Tommy's doing really well, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, hell, what are they're doing? They're doing some Europe dates for their 35th anniversary and stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean it's amazing to me. Tommy is like so important to Kiss, more than just being the guitar player. He's like he does so much for that band. So I mean, people that have a question about Tommy being in the band, they're idiots, because Tommy is a lot. He means so much to Kiss. He does a lot. People don't know that.
Absolutely. All right, Jamie. Well, cool. I'm glad you took a few minutes to talk to us here. It's been a long time since we caught up with you, and again, I'm glad to see you're doing your Black and Blue thing, and I'm glad to call you a friend of the show. And you're welcome to come on anytime you want to promote something, and hopefully we will get that CD in 2009, and we'll see you out there on some big festival dates.
I think so. And Neely, you rock. You've always been a great guy, and I love you. You like Chicago?
Do I like it here?
No, the band Chicago.
Oh yeah, the band Chicago. Yeah, I love the band Chicago.
I know.
Yeah. Well, being that
like that.
being that I live here too, I kind of got confused with the question. So.
Well, I like Chicago too. Great city.
Excellent. All right.
Take care. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.
All right, Jamie. Well, since it's been a long time since we had you on, I don't know if we've asked you the traditional classic metal show question before or not, but we've been asking this for a few years, and we've got how many answers do we have, Chris? At least 200.
I think we're at 300.
300 answers. So how has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
I love his moles.
Okay, Jamie. Well, is there anything you'd like us to play?
Please play Auto Blast.
Okay, and you got a special affection for that song?
Yeah, I do. I love it. Whoop came up with the title, and me and Tommy wrote the song, and I think it kicks ass.
Okay, excellent. All right, Jamie.
I fucking love Auto Blast.
We'll look for you out on the road and look for the new CD and all that good stuff. So go check out Black and Blue at their MySpace, myspace.com/blackandblue.
There you go.
We appreciate it, Jamie. Well, here it is. This is Black and Blue with Auto Blast exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Stop digging through the noise and get the metal that actually matters. I'm Chris Aiken, and I'm taking 30 years of industry access directly to your inbox. The Classic Metal Show is officially on Substack, and we're talking world-class interviews here, the unfiltered truth on the latest releases, and the kind of deep dive commentary you simply won't find anywhere else. Listen or watch for free, or step it up to the VIP level for exclusive content that's too heavy for the mainstream. No algorithms, no gatekeepers, just pure high-octane rock and metal history in the making. Own your metal. Join us right now at cmspn.substack.com. That's cmspn.substack.com. We'll see you there.